Hopefully, you haven't been in a hole hiding out somewhere. I pretty much imagine most people have heard the news about Hayden Panettiere. What a sad situation. 36 years old and succumbed to whatever demons were attacking her. That's what I want to talk about today. Adversity. When things are stress or whatever it is in your life that's so just weighing so heavily on your shoulders that you can't overcome it. It falls into two categories to me: a person having intestinal fortitude and a person having a resilient mindset. I was watching Benny Johnson earlier before I came out here in the shop. Welcome back to the shop. And I just was amazed. And I read about it the other day when it first happened. I typically read different news pieces every morning, just kind of see what's going on. I get up pretty early. And I was shocked because, I'm a 55-year-old man. She was a 36-year-old woman. I had seen her from a young age in movies and shows. And then when Nashville came out, I'm imagine like a lot of folks my age, it was really good and I enjoyed the show. It's drama packed and filled and all that stuff. But actually, an amputee buddy of mine was on that show at the Bluebird Cafe or whatever, diner or whatever it was called. But when I was watching Benny Johnson, I was sitting there thinking about how hard could life have been for her. I remember a number of years ago, I always watched fighting, boxing and or UFC. I enjoy watching that stuff. And I remember when it went pretty heavy that Vladimir Klitschko, who I watched quite often, him and his brother, they were dating. And the next thing you know, they're engaged. And the next thing you know, she's pregnant. Next thing you know, she has a baby. And then when everything happened a few days ago and was reading about her passing at an apartment in South Carolina, I had to read more. Mainly because this young woman who seemed to have so much in front of her had given up so much in her life. I watched a couple stories about how she was kind of thrown into the den of acting where people that were helping her, supposedly helping her, were influencing her to do things that she probably didn't want to do, especially as a teenager. And it was pretty ugly, pretty, honestly pretty disgusting. But when you look in the mirror and you think the world's against you and everything is just too heavy, how do you pull yourself up out of that? How do you think that I can overcome this? It's not so bad that I have to self-medicate to the point of, in her case, exhaustion. And when I say exhaustion in this way, the end. Especially on what most of us assume on the outside was such a wonderful life. I was reading more about the situation and I thought it was amazing that she gave up her daughter to her ex that happens to live in Ukraine, which we all know has been at war for the past 3+ years. How bad does it have to be that you are so fearful for what you might do around your daughter that you send her to a place that is actively at war? It's pretty bad. But you watching this, I bet you could look in that mirror and you could think of all the times that you've overcome adversity in your life. Do you do that? If so happens you're under a lot of pressure right now, a lot of stress, financial, relationship, whatever it is, Do you look in that mirror and tell yourself, I can get through this, I can get past this? Do you have enough intestinal fortitude to do that? Excuse me. Do you have the resilient mindset that, hey, this is just a lull, just a low spot in life. I'll get back to my highs. I hope you can. Because I believe you can. I believe we all can. No matter how difficult life is for someone, or how much you try to hide the feelings, you can get past it. Now, I would like to say, alcohol and drugs are not the way to do it. It's an easy way to do it. Pretty much all of it's readily accessible. Anyone can get their hands on alcohol or drugs. But should you? I don't think so. Now, for her to go through the things she went from a child into adulthood, it's pretty scary. Pretty bad. And what happened to her is the worst thing that can happen to anyone. And I don't want that for anyone. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't know her. I understand adversity. I understand overcoming life-altering events. But personally, I didn't know her. So why should I give a crap? Why should you give a crap? Because she's a fellow human being. You're a fellow human being. That's the point of this video. Sitting out here doing what I enjoy doing in the shop, and all I can think about while I'm trying to concentrate on this project over my shoulder is how many people are in her position. Now, yeah, we can't change the world. We're not meant to change the whole world for the vast majority of us. But I do believe we can change one person's world. Or maybe more. That's the point here. The point here is if you know somebody that is going through a hard time, friend, family member, more importantly, yourself. And you're looking in that mirror and you're telling yourself, hey, life sucks so bad, I'm going to sedate myself to the point where I no longer exist. Please don't do it. Please don't let someone you know do it. Family or friend doesn't matter. Possibly even your child, if you're older and you're watching this. And that's part of my question to you. Get involved. One team, one fight is something we used to say during my Marine Corps career, because everything in OIF and OAF, that's Iraq and Afghanistan, was us working with all kinds of people. It could be Army, it could be Navy, it could be the Air Force, it could be a Coast Guard person, it could be a foreign fighter, it could be a civilian fighter. But it's one team, one fight if you're on the same side. So make sure, if you're in the position to know, tell yourself in the mirror that you can get past it. Look to your past when you've done it already. Look to your friend that might be going through a hard time. It could be a divorce, could be bankruptcy, whatever it is. These are tough times for a lot of people. Not saying push yourself on them, but offer the opportunity. Do it in a way that allows them to accept the opportunity you might provide. And worst case, just lend them a shoulder to cry on. Lend them an ear to get it off their chest so that their shoulders don't feel so weighted down when they look in the mirror. So if you find benefit out of this video, I would ask you, like it. Definitely share it. Share it with someone that might need it. Please subscribe to my channel, Spanky Gibson Produces. My email is in my description. Not saying I can help anybody, but I know I've had the opportunity to be there for people when they needed it. And I know I've had the opportunity to ask for that help when I needed it. And I'll tag one of my videos from a couple months ago. it kind of deals with this topic, but a little bit more information. I would ask you to watch those. I would ask you to share those. And I want to thank you. Thank you for being here again. I hope you got something out of this video. And I hope that anyone that we know is in hard times, we try to help in whatever way we can. So, hey, hit the notification bell. Look forward to further videos. They're going to be all over the place like the last couple. So, y'all take care, man. Appreciate you being in the shop with me today.